Hey everyone, it's Harry the Soul Coach, and I'm back again to do another video as an update of what's been happening in the world recently and to get people to zoom out and start paying attention to perspective. We're in the middle of a massive military operation, and if you've been following my channel, you can see that there's been a lot of things taking place over the last few years. We're about 8 years into this now, since Donald Trump first announced that he was running as president. When he first come in, the initial 4 years was to make America great, was to get rid of all the policies and all the executive orders that weren't doing the country any good at all. He then went after the terrorism. He went after MS-13, the gangs. He went after the cartels. He went after ISIS, and he destroyed all of them. He made a big focus on ending and eradicating human trafficking internationally. He stopped all wars. He brought lots of peace around the world in 2020 when the world was distracted. So he did all the big things. Then 2020 took place, and the people that have been fighting against Trump were fighting for their lives. And Trump and his team and the military knew that their only shot, after all the things they threw at him, was cheating the election. However, because they've lost control of all the powers, all the activities and all the communication and anything that being set up was monitored. All the polling stations had cameras, had personnel there, had insiders there, knowing it was all going to go down. But you can't just tell people, you have to show them. Not only do you have to show them, you have to allow people to see the difference between when Trump was in and then when Biden come in. Biden is not Biden. It's all being controlled by us, the military. If you look at it from just a military perspective alone, if people have done treason, they've done wrong, and we have all the technology to track all that, and we've seen a number of these big people at the very top in Saudi get taken out, all these big elite pedophiles, John of God, we see all that take place. We see Donald Trump start putting his mark on every dictator around the world. They all listened to him. They all took orders from him. We saw all that. So the military don't just go, here's the keys, Biden, you now take it all. We'll let you have it all. It's a military. It's a war. It's like going to the enemy and going, go on, you can have it all now. Look, Donald Trump's done all this. We've left the wall open a tiny bit for you. You just finish it off. It's a movie. It has to show people the difference. It has to show people the agenda, which it was always being put out there without us realizing. The agendas that you see out there now have been pushed so much to the extreme that we're all now seeing it done by us. Remember, we're in control of everything at the very top levels. And when Trump went round the world, you could see they were taking control, taking this evil empire out at the top levels. But an evil empire, which we're told is the 1% control the whole world, have a big percentage of the world working for them through corruption, through blackmail, through just personal evil wealth gains that people sell their soul. Some people have made mistakes, get caught in the system, and now they're held as a prisoner. They make a mistake and they're held prisoner based on their actions, because if they don't do it, that information will come out. Your wife will find out you're cheating. All these things. So there's a lot of people in this system. This is what people still have to try to get their head around. It's like we're watching a movie on the TV and we're waiting for big names to come and celebrities in Hollywood, and we're not paying attention to, we're taking out evil. We're taking out crime, corruption of every level, because it all links around the world. Go beyond your life, zoom out a lot more, look at the world as a whole, every town, every city, every state, every country. They all have criminals in there doing all sorts of crime. And crime mirrors crime. If it's a process that works, they copy it. So at the very top levels is being dealt with, but all the other people have still been carrying on. All the people that perform their criminal actions don't pay attention to the world. That crime syndicate would have people that would be their gatekeepers of information to provide information. So this war, when I said at the start we have to change the perspective, when Donald Trump first come in, he said fake news, fake news, fake news, fake news, made a big, big point of it. Fake news, if you now look, zoom out, this is a military operation. Calling a news station fake, straight away we assume they're bad. Fake news, a lot of the stations have been working as the good people all the way through, being fake, going after Trump so much, like over the top. You could see there was a lot of stations with the same agenda, with the same buzzwords. That's us. Knowing that you have to change the whole perspective first. Criminals, you have to still allow them to think that they are in control. The faces that they seem to trust that are sellouts on the TV, they're still in those positions. The Hillary Clintons, the Obamas, the Biden, oh, we see them on TV. So there's a game theory going on, but we're in full control. So by saying fake news to all of them, you can hide, you can distract, you can now take control of situations and people wouldn't know any difference. So as the years have passed on, we are in full control now, full control of everything of this operation. There's a few bad actors still out there, but in terms of control, in terms of the narrative, in terms of all the information that's put out is controlled by us, all of it. So there's a number of things that are being posted at the moment, and I'm watching people, the way that they deliver this from fear, from holding on to old narratives. So one of them, fake news is the enemy of the people. We hear that being saying all the time. Fake news, if you look at the fake news before, it was ridiculous. And if you look at it now, it's even more ridiculous. They're not the enemy of the people, though. The enemy of their people. We're trolling them all. We're controlling the stupidity of it. I'll show you a few clips as well. It's a movie. A lot of the things and TV shows and stuff, you watch it, it is just, it's mindless, it's numbing. It's that daytime TV and all those Saturday Night Live shows. If you watch it, you say that's like that's always been fake. Knowing that people do just gravitate towards mind numbing stuff that so they don't have to think themselves. And it's those characters and it's the information that's being put out there is then repeated. So throughout this, go against Trump, because the awakening is about having to awaken up to the fact that he's always been good and everyone else around him that was going after him are the corrupt ones. People had to see it for themselves. So we're in control of all the news. So I see people still getting angry and pointing and going, look what they're doing now. I'm like, we are in full control. The other thing that I'm going to show you today is there's certain characters that have been fighting for the good guys. And there's certain Hollywood stars that we've been told are bad. They're on the good guys, and the ones that are pretending to be MAGA and stuff are not. But the Hollywood actors have all had a role to play because people follow the stars. People are so obsessed with certain names, yet unwilling to go and look at all the corruption that is taking place. They get so angry with certain names, yet, oh, that's all right, they're raping kids. So that there's no anger towards the stuff that if you are going to get angry, there should be a completely different focus to channel that energy. Getting angry now means there's internal issues going on. There's things that we haven't dealt with personally. And people get triggered by me saying stuff like that. It's true. The information is the information. You can choose to get really angry about it, but you're looking at it from an emotional state. You're looking at it from a state of not knowing the bigger picture. And the most people that do get angry and then choose to argue after haven't bothered to see this whole thing and how it's all connected. However, you also got to understand there are people in this movement that their role is to be angry and put fear out and call out everyone because they need to stop the truth getting out there. And there's a few pages at the moment you're seeing how it does that. I feel that some of these pages are good. And a lot of the truthers that I've called out, you can see they're staying away from the real information. We're moving closer towards November. That's when the elections are, and there has to be the momentum building. Last week was Super Tuesday, and you saw Trump won massively in the primaries. There's a few more locations taking place tomorrow, and then there's a few at the end of March. Then in April, by the time it all gets around there, it will all be confirmed. Moving then into July, which is normally when they announce the vice president. I've said many times Oprah will be the vice president for Donald Trump as an announcement. No, 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 no. That triggers so many people saying, I'm not going to vote for him then. He's going to lose votes. It's not about the election at all. It's not about the election. The election will go ahead because people need to know that they voted for once and it was a truthful. They got what they asked for. They saw the evil enemies get destroyed by it. So that has to happen. But also, what has to happen, this is a great awakening. There's a lot of good people stuck in the system, a lot of angry people that are brainwashed and matrix and hide behind labels. There's a lot of people that are being held as prisoner, not even knowing it, modern day slavery. So there's a lot of people in fear. All of that is unconscious state. So there has to be things to bring the world together. A lot of people that hate on Trump are unconscious, that do hide behind the liberal and Democrat label. You can see it all. They hate on Trump. So to have someone as a trusted figure for those people would be Oprah. Black, a woman, spiritual. They're big categories. A lot of those hate Trump. Truthful. Trump will come out and tell the truth. It's not like I'm getting Oprah, there's no explanation behind it. By the time it gets to that, it's going to explain it all. So I'm putting that out there because of this video.
You have a vice presidential candidate in mind?
Well, I really haven't gotten quite there yet.
It's just
Oprah. I love Oprah. Oprah would always be my first choice.
Oprah.
Oprah, your competitor, right?
Oprah's a competitor.
You know what?
No
I'll tell you, she's really a great woman, though. She is a terrific woman. She's somebody that's very special. I have not even thought about it. I guess we'll see. We'll see. Maybe that's part of the whole process.
Would she be someone, I mean, kidding aside, that you might think about?
If she'd do it, she'd be fantastic. I mean, she's popular. She's brilliant. She's a wonderful woman. I mean, if she'd ever do it, I don't know that she'd ever do it. She's got.
You'd ask her.
She'd be sort of like me. I mean, I have a lot of things going. She's got a lot of things going.
What a ticket
in terms
that
of that would be a pretty good ticket. But she's a very exceptional woman.
What makes a good president?
Well, I think the leadership qualities.
And if you know what we've been paying attention to for the last few years, everything he said has been for a reason. That was ages ago, though. That's a comment. It was said on that video. If you go back, there's a lot of other videos you can go and watch what he said as well. She would be his #1 first choice as vice president.
What kind of president would Donald Trump be?
Well, again, all those things are fine, but again, you go back to Reagan, and there is a certain pomposity, and there was a certain ribbon-cutting stature that is important for the president. I think that the whole style and look of him was just really.
Are you saying that's the kind of person you want to be?
Well, I don't say that, and I don't like to be compared to anybody, and maybe it would be unfair to them, to be honest with you, but. The president has to be a great leader, and you have to lead by example. But you need leadership in this country, and we're just not having it right now. And this is going to be Gore's problem, because he is very much associated with 4 very ugly years, despite an economy. I mean, if you had a bad economy at this point, it would be a disaster out there. But you do have the one thing, you have a good economy.
You have to look bigger. It's to pull the whole world in together. So that's a big, big bucket of people. And 2 people from both sides of the spectrum will be able to come together because those 2, Trump and her, are leaders. So I'm putting that out there. That's, for me, it's a given based on what we're seeing. You're also going to see Joe Biden, and they're trying all they can because he's the only one that's been taking the blame. He's him and Hunter Biden, and everything is Biden. Biden is corrupt. China, Ukraine, money laundering, the big guy, 10%. All this stuff, but everything you're hearing about Biden is Obama too. So narrative-wise, and again, all the people that are lawyers, politicians, journalists, the people that know what's going on, they're just hoping Biden takes it all. We take Biden out and we can get away with it all. But all these crimes link all the way up to the top, which again will then come back down for the whole system. So there's a lot of people that are panicking, are stuck, that are playing a role because they know what's coming. There's nothing else they can do, so they have to just go with it. Unless they come out and say, this is what I am, I'm corrupt, but they'd be a dead person instantly. They'd be hated by the world, and the system that are desperate to find cover would go after them too. So if you look bigger all the time, knowing we're in full control, knowing that we have to bring the world together, how else are you going to do it? How else? There's so many people that watch this stuff that think and go around saying I'm awake, and when are the normies going to wake up? It's going to be so hard for them. Like, they're never going to wake up. those comments show that people are not awakened to what's going on. It's like everyone's walking through like, we know what's going to happen. What's going to happen then? What is going to happen? If you're so confident you're awake, what's going to happen? No, it can't be Oprah. How are you going to pull the rest of the world together? America's a big country, very divided because of the system that's being put in place. A lot of people are now rallying behind Trump. A lot of people are now hating on Biden. There's agreements on certain things, and soon it's going to pull people even closer when you have the election fraud 2020, when COVID starts coming back into the narrative again, which you're now seeing more and more people speaking. It's bringing everything to a point where good people are going to find out that they've been done over, bad people are going to be exposed, and then you're going to see the people that sold out. And you're going to see worse than that, people that you know that have gone against you and people that you love knowingly their whole life. So it's a big, big thing. It's going to be the biggest event that we've ever had to experience in our lifetime. 9/11 times 17. It's the Great Awakening. And if you just go back, and I've been showing that a number of times where Q was showing us the military operation in place when Trump first come in. For the 3 years when the first Q post come out onwards, up to 2020, you see how it all starts unfolding. You see the awareness for these things. You're shown what to look out for. So these things are happening. You see the panic. You see the secret meetings. You see it all get exposed. And there was a desperation knowing that whatever they're doing, they're getting caught out. So that whole system, everyone else is playing their game too. So many of the system were on alert when COVID hit, when they knew that Trump was coming back in. And so many of those people just disappeared, went back to their life again. When Trump did get in, they realized actually we're in control again now. So they're watching the news, they're watching all these things being shown to them on mainstream, and they think that they're in control. Then they got a bunch of conspiracy theorists that were telling them Trump's going to win, the vaccines are this and vaccines are that, and XRP is going to go up, the dollar's going to crash. All those conspiracy theorists, which were normally the information providers for these people, have been wrong about everything. Not only that, they're also putting ludicrous stuff out there like Tom Hanks is a paedophile, Oprah is a paedophile, Ellen is a paedophile. These people, like, I can't even trust these people for information. So they just go off the news now. Again, military. So it's divided. And the people in this matrix that start realizing things are not adding up, things don't make sense. I can't do this job anymore. They're putting rules and regulations in that don't serve me. They then step out into this matrix, which has got loads of truthers, loads of conspiracy theorists, loads of people that have been sharing information. That's the go-tos. So you're now getting a perspective from people that are not on the same team. And this is where we're at the moment. So we're seeing a lot more people, and I've had many comments where saying that people are noticing it now, and they're seeing the fear within the truth movement. They're seeing the information put out there isn't really pushing towards a win, a celebration, a change. It's like, just hold on. Civil war might come in. Like, this is God's plan. Just trust in God. It's panic. It's panic. There's nothing to get angry about. There's nothing to be fearful about unless you're choosing to go in there. So we'll go on and have a look at some of the things that have been put up for the last week. And it's been interesting because some of the truthers that I know are not on the same team, the way that they put the message up there, and I'm like, and people are falling for it. They're putting out people and saying satanic and stuff. I'm like, these people haven't got a clue. So just know that everything that we've been learning in here, most of it will be wrong in terms of the people. You have to flip it. Be prepared for that. Because it's going to get to a point where a lot of the names we think are good are bad. A lot of the information put out there is wrong from the perspective. And it's going to leave us, and this is where we are getting pulled into now. And this is where mainstream media and the fake news come into, controlled by us. This is where celebrity people come out there and they're contradicting not everything that Trump's saying, or that it's done on purpose. Because all of this is about us having to think for ourselves, us having to snap out of the sleepy state we're in, us having to realize that we don't actually know what's going on, and we have relied on other people to provide us information. When all of that turns and gets taken away, That's the moment where you have to really trust in yourself. And so many people are so far away from that. They rely so much on other people. So I'm going to show you a few things that have been shown this week, but to look at the perspective differently, to change it. And just one more thing before we go on to it. You also got to realize that we've already won this war. We're in control of the narrative. We're all getting pulled to a point. There's certain topics that we've seen about, but it never got finalized. It never got confirmed. There was no arrest. There was no justice served. But they're big topics that have to come back into it. Because this is a movie and because it's being scripted and because we're getting taken down this path, if you pay attention to the news now, news unlocks the map, which Q tells us. When you listen to Trump now hear talk about certain things, it unlocks the map. It means we can go and look at the Q post. But it also gives the talking discussions and talking points to the masses that haven't been paying attention. So we're going to see like Bitcoin, for example, and Haiti. I'll go on to two of these today. But a lot of people in the normal world, they now become experts again. They now not got an opinion. They're now talking about it. They're getting pushed on purpose. Everything that goes out on the news, everything is controlled by us, everything. Because otherwise you would see all these different murders that go on all the time that we supposedly, there's many murders that take place in London every single day. That would be on the news constantly, but they don't do that because they don't want you to fear. If you look at COVID, the way that they controlled all of that, it was military controlled. Those numbers are death numbers on the TV, which made no sense, which was really crazy. On one hand, it's going to wake people up thinking, why are they doing it? But I realized why. It's because criminals, they exploit pandemics and they exploit natural disasters and they exploit things like human trafficking. This is where the Red Cross would come back in. So can you imagine COVID, all the things they could have exploited? And they would have said all these deaths are taking place, like the truthers at the start of this said 850,000 kids go missing every year in America. And I used to just repeat that all the time. No, they don't. Not even close. It's not, but some people are still saying that now. One truther, 22,000 kids go missing every single day. No, they don't. We're in full control now, but these numbers get pushed out because then these people can hide behind a storyline. So even with COVID, those numbers are crazy put up there, but it was to stop people lying about all the different deaths going on. That was the numbers. And you could match the normal deaths with overall deaths for every other year. It was very consistent there too. So a lot of fear being pushed out there from people saying all these deaths was really just to get the attention of people in the criminal syndicate. Wake up. Don't take that stuff that they're offering to you. Big Pharma, stop doing what you're doing. Like there was a warning call. There was a rally call. And more people started waking up because they realized if they continued, they're going to get done. And if those people get done, they're mostly linked to other people. So there's a chain. There's a hierarchy. And everyone above has dirt on people below. And the people at the very bottom have dirt on it because it's information. It's a sick system. So we'll go on to this, but just to know when you see these news events and, oh, look what they're doing now. Look what he said now. I can't believe he's turned. This is what I'm saying. It's doing it on purpose. So we're going to start off with Robert DeNero, who is a white hat. No, he's not. No, he's not a white hat. He said Trump, he wanted to punch him in the face and stuff. He's an actor. He's an actor who's been playing his role all the way through this. He was the first one to come out with that Vax documentary to say people should go and watch this all this time ago. But Robert DeNero, if you go and watch I Am JFK, it's about JFK Jr. And Robert De Niro is one of his best friends that is on there. Another guy that was on there as a best friend, Chris Cuomo. So Chris Cuomo, Andrew Cuomo, and their dad, Mario Cuomo, they're all white hats. They're all on the inner circle. And people are going to find that hard to accept too. No, they see. You're basing it on what you've been shown. And this is why I keep reinforcing this. It's a movie. It's a movie. We've had the ball the whole time. Because you've seen it on the TV doesn't mean it's true. It's accepted as truth. It's taken on by the majority. You did your research and then you're showing other stuff. It's still not a full truth if you start seeing the bigger picture. If you go back to see who this is all about and the families involved, the Kennedys was a big one. We've all talked about JFK Jr. We've all talked about John F. Kennedy. The Kennedys have been planning this for a long time. So we'll do Robert DeNero first of all, because he did this video today, the other day. And again, people will always just hold on to what they've been shown, and then they're satanic is evil. All these people you're seeing out there at the moment, the Hollywood actors, all the people that are doing the new documentaries, all on Netflix, all those actors, all the singers that you're told satanic are not, because they would not be out there if they was. We are in full control of all of that. When people get attacked, they're just masking in their uniform the satanic signs, and it's bringing awareness. So people point and others look, and then others can see, hang on a minute, that doesn't seem right. So we have to get our head around that. So Robert De Niro is terrified Donald Trump will go after him if he is re-elected. Trump didn't do this the first time. So what has these celebrities so terrified of a Trump second term? There is nothing that justifies their fear unless they have some very dark secrets that they're all afraid of that have come to light. TikTok, Robert De Niro. So this is MJ Truth's page. I recommend people go and see this because he puts out a lot of research and the information on things that are taking place. He puts out the information like that. Oh, CIA, good guys. So people will go, oh, TikTok, Robert De Niro, and they just latch onto it. If you just go back, his best friends with JFK. Go watch it. You see. So he's an actor too. If you watch the films that he's done, it's all showing you what's going on. So one that you should go and watch recently, Killers of the Flower Moon. Go watch that because you'll understand this war a lot more then. So take notice who he's talking to.
Nothing at all, nothing redeemable in him. And we have to, and whoever the people are who want to vote for him, and there look like intelligent people around there, somebody, for some reason, it can't be. It cannot be. If he wins the election, you won't be on the show anymore. He'll come looking for me. There'll be things that happen that none of us can imagine. That's what happens in that kind of a dictatorship, which is what he says. Let's believe him, take him at his word.
I did from the beginning.
Yeah.
I mean, I said from the very beginning, this guy is never going to concede power, and he still hasn't.
No.
He still hasn't. He just admitted he lost the last election, and he advertises that he will go on. He says he's been cheated out of one term, so maybe we should get rid of a president only get.
So the main person to look at was Bill Maher. That's not him. That's an actor. We'll go there in a minute. Q shows us too. The reason why these celebrities are still out there now, and also the reason why they keep saying that, because people are watching going, shit, Donald Trump is getting back in and he's gonna come after us this time. They're putting fear into people that know what was meant to happen. And then they thought, finally we escaped. People are truth movement. Oh, we can breathe again. The UK truthers, none of them focus on Trump. They talk about Trump being a savior and stuff, but they don't focus on it because they know as soon as it happens, they will all be exposed. We will all be shown how they all group together, how they work together, and what the plan was. They all stay in their lanes. They're not allowed to talk about certain things. And you see how they're all connected. And because the years have passed on, they do actually think that they're going to get away with it. They're not. Only God can decide that, yes. And that comment just shows the limitation of what God is. God is us. So collectively, as we awaken up and shown what they did, and that they're still doing things together to deceive the masses and stop information coming out, when the world find out that's God. So will the world forgive when they see what has gone on and they've known about it? And the system also is pedophiles. So one of the movies that Q shows us, there's three playing at once. The Pfizer Gate, which is Obama's, Hillary Clinton, the spying. It's on the news now. 2 is Panic in DC. We're seeing all the people in Congress and stuff. They're useless. They're calamities. They don't make any decisions. And again, they're stuck. And the third movie was Guardians of the Pedophiles. That's the information, people. That is the gatekeepers I tell you about. No, no, they're not one. They might not be, but they're part of the system that know what else goes on there. It's one enterprise. I said it before. Imagine you had the coat and you've got all your watches and all your little gadgets in there. The old salesman. The criminal system is that. They have a whole catalogue of criminals. So let's go to the Q posts. So if you remember on the last one that I did, I showed you this photo. It was Anderson Cooper and his brother. And this little symbol here represents human sacrifice. The little brother died from suicide at 23 years old, apparently. And they said on here, look, so first of all, you got NBC, which is the NBC and ABC. They were the news channels that were bad, that did lie. Lara Logan was on them. So look, we'll come up here. So the photo again, this photo has been shown a few times. Normal? No, that is nowhere near normal. The picture above her is evil. Symbolism will be their downfall. Focus on the necklace, bottom charm, has significant meaning. Find the match, and then it's red shoes. So look, below the hand, here. Find the matches open source. They never thought they'd be hunted. So you can imagine when they're reading this, thinking, oh my God. So compare the pool with the VW painting the kids in the pool the red shoes. So look, so this is where Podesta comes in. So I'm telling you, we're close again. So look, Podesta art, cross against Podesta, travel to Rome, review 2015, 2016, insides only. So this is in Rome. There's a swimming pool. And there's all these things hanging down, one of two. Compare the pool with the paintings. Look, here's the paintings. Confirm, what do you notice? Got little kids, and it's the same pool. Can you see it? So in John Podesta's painting in his house, look, this one. The same pool thing in the background, they got the red shoes on. It's sickening, people. This is what a lot of people did wake up to, as the Pizzagate. So watch this. So I went from that post, and then I come up a bit more. There's that bracelet again. And it just shows you, look, all this has been on the Q post here. Nothing to see here. And look, who do we have in the photo? Bill Mathers. Red shoes with Anthony Weiner. And this photo went and circulated a bit. Look, with Podesta at the front, all red shoes. And Q said, so it's got Madeleine McCann on here too as well. And people are pointing that at as Madeleine McCann's dad. However, Q does come back and say that's not it. However, they would have put that there in purpose. But Bill Mathers has got the red shoes. And guys, red shoes is paedophiles. And the leather on the red shoe is meant to be from the bodies and stuff. It's so sickening. And they would just flaunt it around like this as well. So Q's got more posts on it. So we can go up. What are the shovels for? And then here, look. Remember, conspiracy friends, LARPs have access to a full stock of original surveillance photos. Nothing to see here. Fake news, constant attacks. Nothing to see here. Enjoy the show. So he must have been absolutely crapping himself when he's seen that on there. Because the world now know what he's about, but we not being shown that. So you get Robert DeNero and everyone's pointing at him, but it's the person interviewing him that we're going to find out. So these are the things you've got to think, that certain people are being pulled in, but you got to see the whole room, because there's a different narrative all the time that's being played. So I got a few more, but a lot of these posts all about Podesta. And then there was this one here. So it was a BBC hit piece on Q.
Two pills, the blue pill and the red pill. You take the blue pill, your boring, humdrum existence inside the beautiful prison continues. You carry on watching Newsnight. You take the red pill, the truth of reality is revealed. Here we go. Let's red pill. President Donald J. Trump is fighting the deep state with all his might. He's helped in that battle by Q, a mystery US government insider who leaves cryptic messages on the internet. The QAnon conspiracy started when Donald Trump said this.
Calm before the storm.
They believe that Donald Trump and his allies are basically the only people aware of this great evil going on in the world, and that great evil being that all of these Hollywood elites and so on are, among other things, running a pedophilia ring, eating the flesh of children, and basically responsible for all of the, I guess, evils or terrorist attacks or general bad things we see in our lives.
Q has built up a following of loyal Americans who, along with Donald Trump, fight the bad people. The QAnon movement has picked up tens of thousands of followers and some celebrity endorsements. Here's Roseanne in a now deleted tweet before she was axed from her TV show.
President Trump has freed so many children held in bondage to pimps all over this world, hundreds each month. He has broken up trafficking rings in high places everywhere. Notice that. I disagree on some things, but give him benefit of doubt for now.
This is pure QAnon. The blue pill. This version is rather different. QAnon is a confidence trick playing on the monstrous gullibility of Trump supporters. They're given fake news about the Democrats being in league with the deep state, that America's political and Hollywood establishment are pedophiles and Satanists. It's rubbish, frankly, but mind you, there's money to be made out of this kind of rubbish. QAnon wouldn't be so troubling were it not for one man.
They are the fake, disgusting news.
I like real news, not fake news. You're fake news.
Today, 300 newspapers in the US railed against Trump's hatred for a free press. But if you believe in QAnon, that's the fight back you'd expect from the Satanists, wouldn't you? The mystery of QAnon's identity continues, but perhaps that's the point. If the mystery stops, and so will the money. I'm going to finish off the pills though.
So the next one is the badge of honor, the military piece. And there is a news reporter for the BBC that I was always thought was a wrong one. And I'm a big fan of Tommy Robinson in terms of the way that he exposes all the grooming gangs in the UK. Like, he's brought out the whole of Islam, which a lot of this war is all about. And a lot of people say he wouldn't do that to white pedos. And that comment, again, is a repeated comment. It's stupid. I always stop them. What? Hang on. So Tommy Robinson wouldn't stop white pedos is only because they got coloured skin. It's such a pathetic statement when people say that. He's exposed it all and people just hold on to a grudge with it. Is he a good person or not? It's not my place to say. He's exposed some of the worst things in the UK. And when people are saying, if we won this war, what about all the immigrants coming in? What about all the migrants coming in? That's what this war is about. It goes all the way up to the top, the Saudi kingdom and the Muslim faith and Islam that infiltrated the way that they push out religion and brainwash the younger generations and then infiltrate other countries and lands and build communities in there to infiltrate from within. When Donald Trump first came in as president, remember he was racist because he stopped all flights from Muslim countries coming into America? And the media latched onto, is racist to all Muslims? No. He stopped 7 countries which were on the terrorist list coming into America because this is what they do. This is why the border's so important in America. This is why the UK actually being shown it, because there's a lot of corruption here. And all places around Europe, you're seeing it now. The world are having to see it and experience it. It's still going to be monitored. And a lot of the things that people complain about are from videos, from mobile phone captures that you cannot prove is actually legit. Yeah, no, it's definitely happening. No, are you there? All the time, are you there? So there's a lot of things being put out there to stir things up, to shake people out of it. Look, this is real. This stuff goes on. And there is a lot of criminals from other countries that are let out of their prisons and stuff to go back in. So there was a thing called Panodrama, and Tommy Robinson went there to set up the BBC. and they caught him on a secret camera. So I think his name was Jon Snow or someone, and he's one of the big BBC people, and he got caught on the spot. And this was really done well by Tommy Robinson. I think that was all part of the plan, because he is the one in this video. And if Q says badge of honor military grade, then he's part of the plan. If you watch it, you will see it is part of the plan. Listen to the words. It's all what we're focusing on, the words, but it just looks stupid. And he's got his Matrix outfit in the background. He's got his red peel and blue peel, but it's what is being said. It is military grade. So that come in. And the reason why I brought up the BBC, because that leads me on to the next one. Because the BBC, they're all corrupt, they're terrible, they haven't reported. Most of these organisations have been corrupt. They've had people at the highest levels corrupt. We've taken over them now, though. We've taken over them. So another one that got people talking was Marjorie Taylor Greene. And Marjorie Taylor Greene is not on our side. She's not on our side at all. I'll try to see if I can find a clip from Donald Trump, just the exchange, but you can see from his body language. So this reporter is from the BBC, and I'll play it in a minute. And her reaction to it is a reaction of someone panicking. And people like, yeah, good on you, go fuck it. These are people, if you know that we're in control, you don't need to swear. The woman that's actually interviewing her was the one who interviewed Prince Andrew. And if you watch that interview, for me, that's a White House operation. For me, Andrew, I feel, has had a role to play to get his brother out. And he's taken all the heat, like Biden has as well. And he's had a role to play. Is he good or not? I cannot answer that. But that interview was so bad, embarrassingly bad. And she did the interview. So if you watch this military grade one, then know that BBC are good. And then see that this woman's now interviewing Majorie Taylor Greene, where a lot of these MAGA people, like I said, are not on our team, then you can start seeing change of perspective. So the way, again, MTG coming in fire, listen to MTG tell fake news activist, former news anchor BBC, exactly where to go after she accused her of being a conspiracy theorist. Calling these people a conspiracy theorist is only going to get you triggered if you know that you are lying. I would be laughing now. So what? Again, this is my observations. It matches up with everything else that I have been connecting. So for me, this is where we're at now, is pulling people in, putting them in front, getting people to go, yeah, yeah, yeah. You're wrong about that. You're wrong about that. You're wrong. We have to be in that state. That's the only way we're going to snap out of it. So when people are like, oh, yeah, they're never going to wake up, are the same people that hate on Tom Hanks. They hate on all these people. They are never going to wake up because they've already made the jump to deciding, right, I'm now a truther, but they're not a researcher. So I realize now I'm a researcher. And if anyone says, what do you research on? To be honest, God. I'm a researcher for God. And then I can open up conversation. What have I found? Well, a lot of this stuff is a big part of it. It's God's story at the moment. So researcher, I feel, is such a nice word to use. And it also separates me from a lot of the truthers, because I'm a researcher for truth, love, God. That counts it all. And then I can show you my research, so I can back it up. So we'll watch this one.
Trump is closer to picking his VP, and should you be on that list?
Oh, that's the question everyone asks. And no, I don't think Nikki Haley should be on the list. But of course, President Trump will choose who he wants for VP.
Would you like to be on that list?
He's got a long list. I support President Trump in any way he'd ask me. But I can assure you it won't be Nikki Haley.
And can you tell me why so many people that support Donald Trump love conspiracy theories, including yourself? He seems to attract lots of conspiracy theorists.
Well, let me tell you, you're a conspiracy theorist, and the left and the media spreads more conspiracy theories. We like the truth. We like supporting our Constitution, our freedoms, and America first. So,
what about Jewish space lasers? Tell us about Jewish space.
No, why don't you go talk about Jewish space lasers? And really, why don't you fuck off? How about that?
Thanks. Thank you very much.
She's trolling them. She's trolling them. And MTG can't control it anymore. And if someone said, would you be vice president for Trump? I definitely would. I'd take that position. Like, if you're in that, They hold off from them answers because they know they're going to get their justice served. But the justice is us waking up to their lies. And it's those people, think about again, bringing the world together. Why is it important to have all these people? Because anyone associated to Trump, if you're on the other side, Carrie Lake, MTG, Matt Gaetz, they already got the hate for them because of the association. Pull Trump out, the hate is still there for them, but they're going to realize these people are corrupted for Trump. Carrie Lake's the next one. Carrie Lake is a cartel puppet, and people can't get their... It's baffling. Like, I'm not even American, and my common sense and just logic is, why are people talking about the 2024 election and just forgetting about all the other stuff? Carrie Lake's now running for Senate, and they've just forgotten that she's just got screwed over the governor race in 2022. And she said she's going to fight it all and get it all back, and she hasn't done anything. I'm going to vote for Carrie Lake because she's a warrior. She's a mama bear. She's always talking about another person. Being a Senate, you're going to talk about what you're going to do. You're going to work with the people in there already. There's none of that. It's embarrassing. And the way they talk about Joe Biden is they're playing along in the movie because they're stuck. They have to. That's what's going to make it even worse, that they've been lying and they've been pretending that they're doing all this stuff. They know what's coming. It's like they're stuck, but they're also trying to put a message out there for other people. So people like, well, we love Carrie. You just got to go back again. There's a few videos I've done on YouTube where I show you she's not on our team. They never thought she would lose in that midterm elections in Arizona, which is the most corrupt state. And I met someone who all the people I met in Arizona, they're all part of it. I met a lot in politics, a lot at the county levels. I met with someone who went to the Super Bowl with Carrie Lake, and she said she's not the brightest person. Like, we have to tell her what to do all the time. That was when I started realizing, when they all turned on me, I realized that they're all linked. So for me, these names, Matt Gaetz, Carrie Lake, MTG, you're going to see those. But you also then got another name, which is another person that we associate with conspiracies and truth. Alex Jones and Jack Posobiec. They're both not on the good team, and Q shows us this quite early on. So let me share the screen again. Because they're a conspiracy theorist fighting truth doesn't mean they're on the good team. These were the original gatekeepers. So we'll go to this one. Quite easy to search. So Alex Jones is AJ on the Q post, but obviously there's loads of words with AJ on it, so you have to scroll down a bit. But this is one with Jack Posobiec's face on there, and I've shared a Q post where I called out him and his protection over Matt Gaetz as well. I'll see if I can find that now. And it says, wait, what? You're telling me Q just posted again? But Micro told me he was ending the LARP. I feel so used, so arse-fucked, wipe tears. So that for me is always like John McAfee. But look, ask yourself a simple, logical question. And remember, a lot of us weren't paying attention back in 2018 to this stuff. So ask yourself a simple, logical question. Why are the majority of the Q attacks by pro-MAGA supporters coming from the AJ, Alex Jones, MOS, Moss-backed, and also AJ known associates? Why are we a threat to them? Why not simply publish an original picture, 1, 2, 3 sex, to establish credibility? Why was this done in the past? We knew these type of attacks were coming. Predictable, fake news. Attacks will only intensify from these people. So they were dismissing Q back then, even though Q was obviously confirming. So this was the one on Alex Jones as well. Look, InfoWars is under attack. Please visit our other channels now. Note to the Alex Jones shills. Nobody hacks a site and brings it down, but publishes a useful and informative redirect page. It's fucking obvious that this is staged attack. Why am I not surprised? Look, actors will act. We target NBC. NBC targets Q. Strategic. We are in control. So Alex Jones, He's not on the good side. All the people linked with him. I know that Owen, something his name was, he got arrested January the 6th and went there because they're all on the same team. They're all coming from the same place. So these names, Q have been pointing them out to us as well. Let me see if I can find. So type in Gates. We've got this one here. So this is from the Q Telegram group that I've been following for a long time. So the FBI and DOJ smeared on Matt Gaetz would have been one of the biggest scandals a decade ago, but now it's just business as usual. His disdain for the entire system is understandable and well-founded, and I hope he never lets them forget it. And look, this is how disgusting these people are. Matt wrote this retweet himself. By the way, only idiots forget to capitalize after periods, like his entire Twitter profile. A decade ago, Matt Gaetz' sex with a minor would have been a big scandal. But in today's society, it's just business as usual for these sick fucks. So look, again, this is not about Trump nor George. No one gives a fuck about George. George had a chance to drop the data and bring down the House years ago and drop the ball, just like Tucker, aka took the money. As of now, Matt Gaetz is one of the biggest rhinos hiding under the MAGA umbrella, and his days in the House are coming to an end. This was like 2023 that he was posting this. And then there was another one. So this one. Look, Jack Posobiec, Gate got it exactly right. Durham is part of the cover-up. Well done. We all know Durham isn't. So exactly, like low-level Mossad, Jack POS Posobiec, who LARPs as fake MAGA Trump influencer during the day and flips back to sex trafficking Matt Gaetz support at night. Why is Jack too chicken shit to post this on Truth Social or Telegram? Because Jack and Matt have a lot in common, or he loves free seafood, buffet too much at Mar-a-Lago to do it. So look, exactly like low-level Mossad Jack Posobiec. So he's gone after him a few times, and then I'll just show you one more that was posted last year. So look, this was last year from the Q post. I call this John McAfee's page, and he's still posting now. I showed that at the end of my last video. So why 2024? Because Trump has already selected to win 2024. Actors be acting, Hollywood, central casting, Showtime, CGI, IRL. How many producers in this movie? How many Trumps? It goes deep. Who is Orange Man? How many Elons? Deep, deep. Who selects these people? Who is Q? The world is not what you think. 2024 is the best thing to ever happen to Trump and worldwide. Think time, think witch hunt, think chaos on a global scale, think another hoax. Again, peekaboo. As the world turns upside down on its head, literally it's coming, the start. Feels like we're on that now. It's 2024 now. So there was another thing that you're seeing in the news now is Haiti. So I'll come off this one. So another thing that you're now seeing in the news is Haiti, and these cannibals are breaking into the prisons, and all the prisoners are now chasing the people out there. It's bringing Haiti into the equation. Haiti is going to rock us to the core how evil it was in the earthquake 2010, and how the Clinton Foundation, all these human trafficking organizations and smuggling kids out the country, all of that will come out to the surface. This is where it gets really sickening of how bad Clinton Foundation was. And this is where it is going to shock people, because it is the art in embassies, which was one of her projects, used to deliver art to 187 countries around the world. 187, if she's involved with it, that was all with the containment ships as well, like the Evergreen. And again, words that we've been shown. The Evergreen was then put in the Suez Canal for us as a sign, bring awareness to it. Remember Evergreen? Oh, people are linking to it. So we're leaving clues all the way through. Haiti's now in the news. We're in control of these countries now. We're in all control of all these countries. The military are. All these wars that you're being shown on the TV, there's mostly a lot of the US involvement in that with the alliance. All of these things are taking place. So another thing that people moan about is kids are dying, they're this and they're that. How do you think they're going to take out evil? They're distractions for us whilst these things are going on in countries that we've never stepped foot into, with countries that we mostly have no intention of stepping foot into, and we have no clue about any of this stuff. So again, Palestine is one where people become a big supporter of it, haven't got a clue. You go on Twitter and you see these people giving their own commentary and stuff, and you're like this, like none of it is true. It's just all nonsense that people are regurgitating. All that's all coming. Like it's literally everything's being shown to us. So now you see Haiti in the news. In my head, I'm like, "Oh, we're going to talk about the Haiti stuff. You're going to see a lot more with Obama. I'll do one on Obama and show you like it's deep because it's Red Cross, which is going to be like Haiti, but in all the other countries too. Like you're gonna, and again, you'll appreciate why the BBC and all the news channels put death on there so much, because people would have just lied. Every country, they would have just tried lying about what's going on in each country. This is how they all work. So I'll finish off with one just to show you we're in control of the mainstream media as well, but also the Obama, which all this comes back to, is the shadow presidency. And a lot of the shadow presidency will have always workers, which is again a lot of the truth movement. So watch this one. So what happens if 44, which is Obama, is running and actively running a shadow command and control, shadow presidency operation against the current duly elected president? What former mid-senior admin officials would need to be involved? What current mid-senior admin officials would need to be involved? What key positions of power would be critical to the operation? How do you finance such an operation? And this is where they went around the world doing the Uranium One scandal, putting the money, because they lost. So always trips to these countries, you could see big payments are going in because they need the countries to be able to fight back and be part of it. So FBI mid-senior officials terminated to the date. DOJ mid-senior officials terminated to the date. Pentagon, National Security, State Department, Executive Office of the President, Office of the Vice President, Director of National Intelligence, Security of Defense, Security of the State, Department of Homeland Security, Department of Treasury, U.S. Attorney D of Columbia, Assistant U.S. Attorney, Inspector General Intercom, State Department, AMB, like it's Class 199 Defense and Class 190. All these people would be breaking away to be part of the Obama shadow presidency because they realize they're all corrupt too. So look, importance of controlled mainstream media, in brackets propaganda. What you see is not true. What we say is true, not what you see. Importance of control of the narrative. All assets deployed, nothing to lose. Treason, sedition, conspiracy. Information warfare, irregular warfare, insurgency, infiltration, not invasion. Clear and present danger to the United States of America is the shadow presidency of Obama. Prevention of power returning to the people. Power is control. Prevention of accountability. Prevention of transparency. War. A critical moment in time. So when Obama was announced he's not going to be president now, he then made all these different payments and stuff as well. And if you see all these different people's were terminating their dates because they were all thinking we got to be part of this shadow presidency. So it's a huge operation. George Soros' Open Society Foundation funded a lot of people within the truth movement. There was millions that went into that because they were desperate. We have taken over George Soros at that point too. But bad actors, it brings you then, where is John Podesta? Where is Tony Podesta? So there's bad actors like Merkel. World stalemate. We have all the goods on everyone else. That's part of the reason why some things that tie back to the foreign heads of state will remain classified. Not all. We are in one of the most critical times of our country. Trump and others are working to balance that we're doing well for America, for the common people to endorse, while at the same time purifying our government and remove the bad actors who are entrenched. There is so much string pulling and blackmail that we need to cut these off to truly gain the power granted to us by the patriots and the hardworking people of this country. So that was on November the 1st, 2017, showing you, like I've been sharing, on one hand now, all the momentum's behind Trump. On the other hand, all the awareness is on how bad Biden was. And then you're seeing in between for us, the truth movement, the separation, the mainstream media people as well. So there's loads to look at here. So bad actors is put on quite a lot. But you got to think, if you got power positions and you've got someone who's a criminal and who just speaks a good game, they stick them in these positions, knowing that they're going to just do what needs to be done to keep the power, keep everyone in control. So I'm going to leave it there on this one. And this was just kind of a little catch up to kind of just bring awareness, people, to the perspective of what we're being shown now, because there's loads of things. I didn't even touch on Bitcoin, which I will. It's at the highest it ever has been. The other times they were high, if you look on the dates, they match up perfectly, was when Biden won. And from that November, it shot up. What that's doing is draining the swamp, because people go in wherever there's money. The quantum and Bitcoin and all this stuff that people invest in is decentralized. A lot of criminals, they all had to go on there because they thought that's the safest place to be to move their monies, but we've got it all. So there's been one spike, two spike where they both come crashing down. This one will not go back up again. It will go straight back down to zero. And John McAfee also tells us that Bitcoin is worth absolutely nothing.
The dark web, which is the criminal element of the world, and criminals always are the first to accept new technologies. I mean, good God Almighty, when the telephone came out, who were the first adopters? The mob. I mean, they had nationwide phone systems so that they could coordinate nationwide criminal activity. What about the 8-cylinder automobile that came out in 1932? Criminals, gangsters bought it. Why? You could escape the police because you were twice as fast as them.
Nobody's catching you in that. Yeah.
I'm sorry?
Nobody's catching you in the V8 back then. That's
No. If you got a 6-cylinder Buick, you're not going to catch an 8-cylinder Oldsmobile. I'm sorry, it just doesn't happen. So bank robberies increased tenfold in the early 30s because criminals had the money. The police departments didn't. They had to run their cars till they were not running anymore. No, the gangsters got the latest cars. They got the latest phones. Now they're getting the latest cryptocurrency. What is the latest cryptocurrency? It's Monero. Everybody fucking knows this, people. Nobody accepts Bitcoin anymore. What was the value of Bitcoin? The value was its use as a usable cryptocurrency. And for 4 years, everybody in the dark web used Bitcoin. Why? Infinitely superior to credit cards, which could be traced to a bank account. Now, nobody in the fucking world accepts Bitcoin, people. I'm sorry, I wish they did, but they don't. What do they accept? Monero, the world's most private privacy coin. Because if you send me $100 worth of Bitcoin, or I send you the same, forever after, each of us can look in our wallets and see how much do we have, what comes in and from whom, what goes out and to whom. Now, if a plumber came to your house and fixed a leaky sink, you wrote them a check for $20 and they went to your bank and said, hi, you know, I have a check from John McAfee for $20. Can you tell me how much money he has? And the bank goes, oh, absolutely. He's got X amount. And he goes, good. Can you please tell me what his last 20 deposits were and who they were from? The bank goes, absolutely, no fucking problem. And you go, and now, Mr. Bank from forever after every time something comes into or leaves Mr. McAfee's account, would you please notify me? And the bank goes, sure, absolutely. That, my friends, is what Bitcoin is. Please,
John,
God.
what do you?
So John McAfee's, his videos, I'll do some more on him. On my Rumble channel, I've put loads of breakdowns on John McAfee. He's been a big part of all of this. And yeah, I love everything that he's about. He's a mathematician. He created the internet, security initially, the antivirus. The virus was the deep state. He's put it all onto that. And I know he's worked on Q too. So that's another show on the making. But everything you're now seeing, the actors let go of the hate for it and look what it's about. If it's bringing awareness, he pushed the vaccine, which is another thing that I could have touched on today as well, with Trump saying about the vaccine. He pushed the vaccine, they pushed the vaccine. That comment you can counter. You can counter that. If people are blaming someone else for pushing something for the reason why others have done it all, that's another thing we need to snap out of. That's going to be a big thing with this, because a lot of good people are the ones that are being pushed in the vaccine. Piers Morgan, you're going to see he's had a massive, important role to play in all of this. They all have. And you pushed it though. And again, use Piers Morgan. Are you really saying that you took the vaccine, all of them, because of Piers Morgan? You did it because of Trump? No, you didn't. And if you said yes, you did, that's what needs to change. So every part of this is cleverly done. It's all cleverly done. And if you look at this from a military operation, there's people that were desperate to tell people, don't take that vaccine, because they thought it was a weapon. But what it really did was drained out the big pharma people that went against all protocol, went against all humane things by releasing their vaccines early, because Johnson & Johnson, which was Trump approved and military grade, was pushed out initially, and then they lied. He lied and said it was creating blood clots, and that's where that first come out there. But then the other companies come in and pushed it all. So there's a lot of corruption in every part. You draw them out and you monitor it all, and you watch the conversations, and then you use all these people to link together. So there's so much happening now. But again, the vaccine's being discussed and people blaming people. It's 4 years ago. Stop blaming people now. Focus on what's going on. Vaccines is a big one because it's the whole world. Everything to do with COVID was the whole world. Haiti, that's the Hillary Clintons. Spygate, that's the John Brennans, the James Comeys, the James Clappers. That brings in Pfizergate. Then all these people that Hunter Biden and Joe Biden's going to be impeached, and all this is all Congress and Senate. It's squeezing up. And remember, the guardians of the pedophiles in the truth movement, no one's getting away with it. It's all going to get into that. And this is where the scare event has to come in. This is where the confusion, this is where the dependency and the reliance on other people goes out the window. It's trusting yourself, meditation every day. And I keep saying this because this is a movie. We're at the stage now, people, where it is coming to an end. So it means we're ahead of the movie. So when things do happen, you go, okay, that's interesting. That's how we should approach it. Too many people just reacting, he's turned on him and he said that. The RFK Jr., Kennedy, who disagreed with Trump on the vaccines, because he is anti-vaccine and he has been the conspiracy theorist. But look what it's left people with a choice. You've got Joe Biden, but you've also got Robert Kennedy Jr. And then you've got Trump. So if you hate Trump, but you don't want to vote Biden, he's a conspiracy theorist though. And he's talking about a topic that most people that were unconscious did go along with it and have chosen to dismiss it. So regardless of what choices there are, people are going to have to make one. They can't hide behind, they can't blame Trump for doing this. They can't blame anyone. They're going to have to make one. So I keep emphasizing this is an enjoyment stage now. Whatever you got going on in your life, if you're finding it tough, ride this out. Red wave, ride it out. Because you can see it. If you take the time to go and look, you can see it's only building momentum. It's only moving in one direction. And if you have followed me for a long time, since 2020, I've been saying all this stuff is going to happen anyway. I just assumed it was going to happen a lot quicker. However, the world have to see it all too. So all these things that we've discussed is only getting moving more and more towards it. You were saying that last year, yeah. And if you followed what's going on, it's only moving towards that. It's just more things are in place, more things are being exposed, more opportunities for us to contemplate how big and significant all of this is. So it's exciting. I'm going to ask for your support to please share this within the groups to get this out, because you see the views on my YouTube, it should be up a lot more. I'll show you my, I definitely know that the channel is restricted, because if you look at my stats from 45 years onwards, but there's no viewers from any of the categories below that watch my stuff. So that has to be restricted for a reason. So please, can you help me share this out? The Q post is where we're all going to come back to. The Q post is where people are going to start realizing how and why people have been desperate to stop you going on there, because it's all on there. And now we're at a stage where we can make sense of it all, because all the things that didn't make sense before have been shown to us to connect together. So again, just keep an eye on all the things that are being shown at the moment. Your reaction first. That should be the first thing. And if you're unsure about certain stuff, go look. Go look. Because people are unwilling to. And I'll also leave the Q post link in the caption, which I always do. So if you want to get onto the Q post, have a little play on it. Someone said the other day that they tried searching spray in the skies, military spray the skies and stuff. It doesn't work like that. It's one word. It's one word at a time, or you try to find Obama and see what comes up. But spray in the skies is what I've been saying. That shouldn't be a focus. You can go on Google, and the person said, I don't trust Google though. That's the problem. We're in control. We're in control of all of it. If you don't trust Google, don't be on the internet. I'm on YouTube. That is Google. It is comments like that we hide behind. I don't trust Google. Click on any website and you're off Google straight away. Type in military, spray in the skies, 5G. Military, weather control, 5G. And you see it all. Anything military, go search it. So we're going to see a lot more things. So there's going to be a point where the tipping point is things that we've been taught and we thought were right on, and they're going to be wrong. People that we thought were on the good team are now saying stuff that they're going against Trump. It's a movie. It's pulling more people in. So if you're dependent on people being good or bad, but now they confuse you, and now, look there, see? You're getting caught. You're getting attached. We have won. We have won this war, and it's now just coming out for us to see. And it is super exciting. So people, hope you've enjoyed this. Please subscribe to the channel, and I will be back on again very, very soon.